Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brothers are requested, inshallah, if all of you can stand up just for a few seconds, inshallah. If there are any spaces, please fill them up. If there is any space in front of us, inshallah, we can quickly move forward. Once the line is complete, inshallah, please sit down. Yes, brother, we quickly fill it up, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, a lot of space has been created. Those who are standing can move towards your right, inshallah. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursaleen, wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'een. Amma ba'du fa'a'udhu billahi minash shaytanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. الحج أشهر معلومات فمن فرض فيهن الحج فلا رفث ولا فسوق ولا جدال في الحج وقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم العمرة إلى العمرة كفارة لما بينهما والحج المبرور ليس له جزاء إلا الجنة أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام رواه البخاري ومسلم. صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي رب زدني علما. My respected elders and brothers, 2 weeks ago we mentioned the definition of Hajj, the status of Hajj in Islam, and what are the 6 conditions that make the Hajj obligatory upon a person. Now moving forward, those who can afford to undertake this journey or are fulfilling the 6 conditions, if they perform this obligation of deen, what are the virtues and the glad tidings for them in the ahadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And if one who fulfills all the 6 conditions but still delays without a valid reason or does not perform this obligation, then what are the warnings of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam for such a person? The hadith of Bukhari and Muslim, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Man hajja, a person who performs Hajj for the sake of Allah, falam yarfus, and he doesn't utter any obscenity, any vulgarity in this act, in this journey. Walam yafsuq, nor does he commit a major sin. So 2 conditions are there. He does not utter a vulgarity and obscenity, and he does not commit a major sins. Raja'a ka yawmin waladathu ummu, Allah will make him return from the journey in the manner like a newborn baby is born from the womb of his or her mother. In other words, Allah will give him a clean slate. The good deeds that are there will stay there. All the sins of his life will be forgiven by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Another hadith of Bukhari and Muslim, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Al-umratu ila al-umrah. A person performs one umrah, after 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, goes back for the next umrah. So the intervening period between these 2 umrahs, the gap, by doing the second umrah, Allah forgives all the minor sins between this time gap. Wal hajjul mabrur, and a mabrur hajj, laysa lahu jaza'un illa al jannah. its reward is nothing less than Jannah. Meaning, if there had been a higher gift from Allah than Jannah, Allah would have granted that gift to the Haji person who performs Hajj. What is the meaning of Hajj Mabrur? Mabrur comes from bir, which is translated as a Hajj that is full of khair and goodness. It is also translated as a maqbool Hajj, an accepted Hajj. So the reward of an accepted Hajj is nothing less than Jannah. Sahaba radiallahu anhum inquired from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam in the hadith of Musnad Ahmad that what is a mabrur Hajj? Qila wa ma birruhu. O Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, what makes the Hajj accepted? What makes the Hajj full of goodness and khair? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam mentioned three actions, three a'mals. Ifsha'us salam, or it'amut ta'am, wa tibul kalam. Wa fi riwayatin it'amut ta'am wa ifsha'us salam. In one narration it says to feed food to the people, one action. Second, to talk in a gentle manner with other people, two actions. In another narration it says feeding the people and spreading the salam. So a person who performs Hajj gets a standard reward of Hajj. But those people who are, the more they do these three amals, the more their reward of Hajj is increased by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number one is feeding other people. Feed people from, if possible, if Allah has given us the capacity, feed as many people as you want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, whatever your pocket allows. Secondly, ifsha'us salam. Giving salam doesn't cost any money. Everybody is a Muslim, nobody is a non-Muslim there. So we don't need to choose and look whom do we want to give salam, whom we cannot give salam to. Spread salam as much as possible. And the third is tibul kalam. Be good in conversation, gentle and nice in conversation. Somebody is good with you, we are good with them. Somebody is not good with us, still we are good with them. This is what the muhaddithin have mentioned in the commentary of tibul kalam, that we should be nice with the people. The more we do this, the more our virtue of the Hajj and Umrah increases. Aisha radiallahu anha says, when I went for Umrah with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he said to me, Ya Aisha, inna laki min al-ajri ala qadri nasabiki wa nafaqatiki. Or kama qal. O Aisha, Allah will give you the reward based on two things. Based on the mushaqqa, the pain and difficulty you bear with patience in this journey, ala nafaqatiki, and based on the money you spend. Not extravagance, not shopping. Shopping doesn't have any reward. Spending money to make the journey easy for you, spending money on other people to facilitate them, helping the poor, helping the people in need, this is the meaning. So these are the a'mals that increase the reward of Hajj. Likewise, another hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this is the hadith of Nasa'i. He said more or less to the nearest meaning, Al-Hujjaj wal-Ummaru wafdullah. The people who perform Hajj and Umrah are the guests of Allah. Or another translation, are the group of Allah, the Jamaat of Allah. In da'awhu ajabahum. If they make dua to Allah, Allah accepts their du'as. وَإِنِ اسْتَغْفَرُوهُ غَفَرَ لَهُمْ. If they seek forgiveness from Allah, Allah forgives them. Another hadith says Allah forgives the Haji person also, and Allah forgives those for whom the Haji makes dua also. So these are the virtues that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has mentioned for the people who undertake this journey. No matter how expensive the package is, no matter we stay in 7-star hotels, doesn't make any difference. At the end of the day, there will always be some difficulty. There will always be some level of pain and suffering, either from the logistic side, either from the people whom we are traveling. But once again, this is a journey of patience. The more we are patient, the more we are helpful to others, the more Allah will increase the reward of this journey. Likewise, how much is Allah going to give us when we spend for the sake of Hajj? Not extravagance, something that is really needed. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the reward of spending for Hajj is the same as the reward of spending in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. بِسَبْعِ مِئَةِ ضِعْفٍ. Every dollar is multiplied by 700 times. because this is the reward of spending in the path of Allah for the cause of deen, for spreading the deen, or for fighting for the sake of deen. This is the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these are the ahadith that encourage us and tell us to introspect and look into ourselves. We should all go home today and we should look into ourselves, and if we are the head of the family, the head of the household, the people who are under us, is Hajj obligatory upon us or not? And we should share this with our family members. If a person Hajj is obligatory and still he delays without a valid reason, he or she passes away, then this is a very difficult situation. We come on the warnings of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam now. It is mentioned in the hadith of Bayhaqi, Abu Umama radiallahu anhu narrates, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, a person doesn't have any difficulty. Nobody is stopping him. An oppressive king or a government or whatever the case, the thieves on the road, nobody is stopping him. There is no barrier, and Hajj is obligatory upon him or her. Aw maradun, there is no disease or sickness because of which he or she cannot travel. So in other words, without a valid reason, the conveyance is there, the money is there, but still he or she doesn't travel, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, فَلْيَمُتْ إِنْ شَاءَ يَهُودِيًّا أَوْ إِنْ شَاءَ نَصْرَانِيًّا أو كما قال. Now this is the literal translation, and then what does it mean? I'll mention both things. The literal translation of this hadith is, then he has a choice. Sha'a, then he has a choice whether he dies as a Jew or whether he dies as a Christian. What does it mean? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is not criticizing any faith or any religion, that no, this is wrong. This is not the purpose of this hadith. The purpose of this hadith is to give us the stern warning that then this is so huge, this is so stern, that even a person who has the mercy to such a level, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, rahmatul lil alameen, Allah says in the Quran, He's the mercy for all the worlds. So amongst the prophets, amongst the human being, the one that had the most mercy is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He is also saying this, that may that person die as a Muslim or non-Muslim, there is no difference. So in other words, he is telling us, such huge is this thing, so risky is this thing, so dangerous is this thing, that a person, Hajj is obligatory and he delays without a valid reason. So in other words, to give us a warning, to make us realize the gravity of this sin. Abdullah bin Abbas radiallahu, how did Sahaba radiallahu anhum understood this hadith? I'm not giving a fatwa, I'm just saying how the Sahaba radiallahu anhum understood this hadith. In the time of Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anh, when zakat collectors used to go and collect zakat, there were specific guidelines how you should assess the wealth. It is mentioned in the books, Umar radiallahu anh said, when you go to a person and you see that Hajj is obligatory upon that person and he has not done Hajj without a valid reason, don't accept zakat from him. What lesson it gives, I won't elaborate. Those of us who can understand would understand, because sometimes the words of the Imam are twisted afterwards. That the Imam said so and so on the minbar. Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu. Now these are the cream of the Sahaba radiallahu anhu. Umar radiallahu anhu, Abdullah bin Abbas radiallahu anhu. Abdullah bin Abbas radiallahu anhu said, a person who is obligated to give zakat but doesn't give zakat, and is obligated to do Hajj and does not do Hajj, then he will ask ruju from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when the angel of death will come to him. He will ask ruju from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when the angel of death comes to him. What does it mean? He'll ask Allah, give me some more time so I can fulfill the Hajj also and I can give zakat also. So my respected elders and brothers, the purpose is not to criticize those who are listening. The purpose is to make me and you realize the intensity of this obligation and the gravity of not performing this obligation without a valid reason. Yes, if we cannot afford it, it's very expensive, that is a valid reason. But if we are fulfilling all the 6 conditions that we had mentioned 2 weeks before, then there is no valid reason for us to delay it. Yes, if somebody listens to the khutbah today, alhamdulillah, and goes and tries, but for whatever reason his number doesn't come out, at least he tried, he's not responsible in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He can now plan for the next year. So the purpose is to give us an idea how huge this obligation is in Islam and what's the gravity of not doing it at the correct time. And the last thing which we will end, my respected elders and brothers, this is the amal, this is the journey in which each and every step Allah accepts the du'as. So when we go for Hajj, the foremost dua that we should all do is, "Oh Allah, change my life as you desire from me." Our 24-hour lives, how can they be molded according to the commands of Allah and the sunnahs of His beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Hajj means change. Now, we are not going into detail today on this. The pious predecessors, meaning those who saw the time of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, numerous aqwal are there, numerous sayings are there. And a sign of an accepted Hajj is that Allah changes that person for good. Now, if a person doesn't change, once again, I'm not posting a fatwa or anything, just sharing with you that this should be the intention when we are going there. Whatever problems are in me, whatever shortcomings are in me, oh Allah, change me so I can become a better Muslim in your sight also. And at the same time, I can be good with the fellow Muslim brothers and sisters also. And the last thing, it comes in, we have to make sure that the money with which we are going is halal. I'm not sure whether I mentioned this last time or not, so quickly, within a minute, I'll run by it, just in case if I missed it. It's a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that said, when a person uses halal money to go for Hajj, as soon as he mounts on the conveyance, because in those days they were horses or camels or donkeys or mules, and he says, "Labbaik Allahumma labbaik," because whenever we say labbaik, the answer is given back. So the answer comes, "Labbaik wa sa'daik." Your labbaik is accepted. Zaduka halal, wa rahilatuka halal, wa hajjuka mabrurun ghayru ma'zurin. Your money, your property, your assets are accepted, are halal. Your conveyance is halal. Your Hajj is accepted by Allah. There is no sin upon you. But on the flip side, a person uses haram money or he earns money from impermissible sources, and he knows this. And he uses the same money to go for Hajj. When he says, "Labbaik Allahumma labbaik," the announcer announces, "La labbaik wa la sa'daik." Your labbaik is not accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Zaduka haram wa nafaqatuka haram wa hajjuka ma'zurun ghayru maqbulin. Those who understand Arabic know what it means. The money and the assets you have is haram. The money you have in hand is haram. Your Hajj is not accepted by Allah, but rather you are committing a sin. So now the question arises, we all humans. Maybe we are trying for the last couple of years, we were in some type of impermissible job or business, and Allah guided us. And now we want to change, but it's taking some time. And we want to go for Hajj also. Then Imam Sahib knows what's the way out? Go to the ulama whom you trust, whatever the ulama are in your locality. Ask them in privacy, "This is my situation, what's the way out?" Alhamdulillah, there's a solution for everything. So the purpose of this is, once again, just to remind us, a person spends $13,000, $12,000, that's the cost approximately this year. Takes so much pain and suffering, leaves his family also. And at the end of the day, shaitan doesn't allow him to understand that he is using haram money. His entire journey is lost. Yes, Allah has the qudra to accept it. I'm not saying that Allah, this is 100% guarantee that Allah will not accept it. Allah can still accept it, but this is not the sunnah of Allah. This is not the tarteeb of Allah, as mentioned in the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So whatever was said and heard, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the understanding of these things. Ameen.
Allahu Akbar.